Hey everyone, this is Mary from SVG Cuts, and I am so excited about all these Halloween projects. It's finally time to get started on Halloween if you want to, if you love it as much as I do, and as much as Leo does, and all that. So we have some really fun projects, and this one I'd have to say is my favorite out of this kit. I've been thinking about something like this for a while now, and I wasn't sure how I was going to make it so that you could set a bunch of electronic tea light candles in it, but I figured out a pretty good, tricky little system, and it's actually really simple to put together. So even though it looks like, whoa, so crazy, it's really simple actually. So I'll show you how easy that is here in just a second. And the cool thing is Leo was shopping at Michael's and he found these really cool Halloween glittered electronic tea lights, and they have orange and black, and even Kathy Helton from our design team, she found some pumpkin shaped candles just like this at Kmart this year in 2013 fall. She found some of those, so if you find some fun ones, it makes it even more fun. So we also have some more illuminated projects, like this tall lantern here, which has a hole in the back so you can stick your candle in. And obviously you would never ever use a real regular candle, obviously, because it would definitely become on fire and in flames, and that would be bad. So I just have to say that, even though it's so obvious. So the cool thing about this lantern is that it's not really Halloween-y except for the paper and obviously this cool spider on the front. So if you wanted to make it for any other occasion or theme or color scheme or really anything you can think of, you could make your lantern look however you want it to look. So we also have our cool pumpkin bucket, and this reminds me of those really fun like Happy Meal buckets like I used to get back in the 80s when I was a kid. For Halloween they always had a really fun like pumpkin bucket, or there was a witch one or a ghost one, and they were shaped kind of like this, so I think it's a lot of fun. And if you use vellum like I did for his face, you could also put another one, you know, a couple of these in there to light it up, or you could just fill it up with some treats or something and make it fun, or just use it as a decoration. I think would be really cute. So something else from my childhood that I had fun with was this guy here, and he's put together with brad, so you can pose him however you want, get all silly and let your kids have fun playing with him, and he makes a nice little decoration to hang up. So I did something like this when I was in like 3rd grade in class. We just spent, you know, a half an hour cutting out bones and using brads to put them together. So I think I still have my skeleton like that somewhere. But this guy's even sturdier, and you can do it yourself. And I think that you could do obviously black and white like this, or I was thinking you could make him like hot pink glitter or like green glitter if you wanted to get kind of like exotic and glamorous with your skeleton. So finally we have a fun little witch leg card. It's kind of a wacky shape, but you can still write on the inside or maybe stamp a little Happy Halloween or something. So that is also fun. The paper that I used this time is by Martha Stewart Crafts, and it's the Animal Masquerade paper collection, and it's really fun. It's not really, I wouldn't even call it modern or retro. It's kind of just, I don't know what to call it, how to label it, but it's really fun, and it features some nice glitter, and like there's some black cats that are fuzzy, so it's a lot of fun. But of course there is so much really cool Halloween paper out there. I don't think I've ever seen a collection of Halloween paper that I didn't love, so I think you'll have a lot of fun making your Halloween projects. So I've got all my pieces cut out to show you how these items go together, and the bucket too. So let's get started. So let's start off with our Spooky Tree Candelabra first. And we've got 6 pieces that look like this. Actually, there's 3 that look like this one, and there's 3 that look like this one, which is pretty much a mirror image of the other one. So I've got 2 of them here, and what you want to do is fold them in half like this, and fold this triangle away from yourself at the bottom, and do the same thing on the other side. And you can go ahead and fold these little circular shapes away from yourself also. So what I want to do is I can pick this up and I can see that it lines up just like this. So what I want to do is put glue just on this surface here. So let me show you exactly where I'm going to put the glue. It's going to go all over this one flat surface. And then I can grab the other piece here and glue it into place just right on top of the other one. And I just need to adjust it a little bit and make sure it's lined up really nicely here. And it is. Okay. So now I can see that this thing here is kind of starting to take shape. And what I want to do is glue it together like this. So on this piece, there's a flat side that's going to go directly up against this flat side here. And same thing over here. This flat side goes up against that flat side. So it fits together perfectly, and it does not matter which one goes on the top. So just put glue on one of them and line it up real nice and let it dry. So now we can take our glue and put a little bit just up on this top portion here and glue that together. So now what you want to do is do the same thing all the way around with all 6 parts. It's the exact same thing, just all the way around. And then you can take your 6 tree panels and glue them into place just like this. And you really want to make sure that this crease is really shoved up right into the crease there so that everything lines up just perfectly. So what I would do is put glue on this entire, well actually on the back of this entire piece, and put that into place. And if you want, instead, you can put glue on just half of it and glue that into place, let it dry, make sure it's lined up, then fold it away and put glue on the rest of it and do the same thing, just to give yourself a chance to be more meticulous. So then once your tree is completely together and you've got all your panels in place, to make the base of the tree, all you want to do is glue these 3 star shapes on top of each other, and then you can place your tree just right in the middle, and you just want to glue it down using these 6 triangles. Then to cover up all those tabs, you can use these little shapes to stick in there and finish it off and cover up all the tabs. So here's my finished tree. You can see it up close, and you can see how I've got these little arrow shapes on the bottom that are finishing it off really nicely. And I think it's easiest if, like I was saying before, you put the whole tree together and then you do the panels going around, all 6 of the panels at the end. So here are the pieces for my lantern, and as you can see, 3 of them are identical and 1 of them is a little different here. And first what you want to do is glue your vellum on the back side of these 3 pieces. So once that is in place, you can go ahead and glue your panels in place, like this dot paper that I have here. That's what I chose for my panels. And you want to go ahead and glue your panels in place now while it's still flat. Then you can go ahead and start putting it together by putting some glue on just one of these long tabs and putting that in place. And it does not matter what order you go in, because no matter what order you go in, you're going to end up with the same finished project, which is 3 are the same, 1 is different. I think it's easiest if you do that one long tab first, and then you go ahead and do the next 3 tabs above it. So I'm going to line up this first one here and do my best to make it as perfectly lined up as possible. Give it a chance to dry and move on to the next one. And the next one. So go ahead and do that all the way around your lantern until you've got all 4 sides together. So I've got all 4 of my sides together here. And again, mine looks a little different than yours because I did not glue my vellum in place or my panels in place, which you will have already done. But as you can see, I've got all 4 sides together, and now it's nice and simple and straightforward. I just need to glue my top into place. I've got a smaller square here which goes on the top, and the bottom has a smaller square, or a larger square, that gets glued. Just put glue on all 4 of those tabs and glue that right into place. So now for our little handle here, we've got 2 pieces that look like this, and we want to put glue just on this like partial donut shape here. And then I can take the top panel of my lantern here, which has a slit cut out in the middle, and I want to push this up through that once I put glue on these 2. And then I take my top panel, I push that up through, and I put glue on the whole bottom of the panel, and I place that right on the top like this. So now let's take a look at this spider. If yours is going to be a Halloween lantern, maybe you want to put a spider on it. So obviously we've got the spider itself right here, and then this part goes underneath to kind of pop it up and add some dimension. So you don't even have to be meticulous with this part because nobody's going to see it, and as long as it's pretty decent, it's going to do the job of popping out the spider. So as you can see, I just put glue on all of the tabs on one side here, and I'm going to give that a second to dry, and then I'm just going to do that on the other side to close it up and form a shape like this. Then I can take my spider and put some glue around this hole and just put that right on top of it and put that right on my lantern. So as you can see, this little shape on top of the spider is actually, it comes with the top panels. So when you cut out your top panels, you'll get all 4 of these sides, the top panel, and you'll get this little spider panel too. Now let's take a look at our bucket here. And first I'm just going to work on the bottom of the bucket, which is mostly just 2 pieces and the bottom. And then I've got my vellum piece here, as well as 2 mask shapes, one of them which is scored. So let's start by putting our vellum in place on the back of the face. So to do that, I want to put a nice thin line of glue around. And I say thin because I don't want to have too much glue on there, otherwise the vellum has a tendency to wrinkle up. So what we want to do is put this so that the vellum has some little score lines in it, and we want to do our best to line those up with the score lines of our large piece here. And if they're not lined up perfectly, that is also okay. And those score lines are also hidden from view when you look at it from the front. So now we can take our other piece here, and this tab is kind of funky. It's also got a circle with a hole in it on the side, and that is just to reinforce the hole that is right over here. So when I glue that into place, it lines up perfectly, and that hole is extra strong. So I can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. I've got this whole entire tab here. I can put glue on the whole thing and put that right into place. And once again, these holes line up perfectly, and it adds a little bit of strength to that hole. So now let's take our bucket here, flip it over, and we can put glue on the whole entire bottom, and we want to make sure the glue goes all the way out to these little corners, and then just place your bottom into place and just kind of adjust it as necessary as the glue is drying. Then we can take it and take our folded mask and glue that right onto our bucket. And then if you've got some pop dots or some zots or something, you can use those and put maybe one here and one over here and put that on. So it's got some dimension and it's curved, it's not folded, it looks nice. And if you've got some fun paper, like I had this fun glitter paper that came with my paper pack, that looks really nice, I think. And then also, when you're ready to add your handle, all I did was take a piece of black wire that's about twice as long as I want the handle to be, plus a little bit extra, and I just wove it through those two holes there, and I twisted it around, brought it back over here, and I twisted it around and added a cute little bow. So let's take a look at the lid. So now for our lid, we've got 6 pieces that look like this and 6 that look like this. They're identical, and if you want them to be all the same color, they can. I just thought it was fun to have 2 different colors and also 2 different kinds of panels. So to put those together, what we want to do is, if you're using 2 different colors, obviously you want to alternate between the 2 colors. And what I'm going to do is put glue on all of those tabs, and I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. I'm going to line it up real nicely, give it a few seconds to dry, and then move on to the next one. And I can hold this one as it dries while I line the next one up, and so on. You just don't want to rush it too much, otherwise it might start to slide out of place as you're working your way up. So go ahead and do that all the way around your lid with all 12 pieces. So I've got all 12 of my pieces together, and I'm using the same principle here to close up my shape. And I kind of messed up and I forgot to alternate these last 4 pieces here, but you get the idea, and I'm sure yours will be perfect. And you know, actually when it's a Halloween project, if you do something wacky like that, you could pass it off as intentional, because Halloween projects can be kind of crazy, I think. So now all that's left to do is put glue on all 12 of these little tabs and put this guy into place. So you just want to line it up real nicely and get that going there. So if you need to flip it over and push down from the inside, I'm sure that will help. So now we can take a look at our panel. I cut mine out of, this is probably not the greatest pattern of paper that I chose here, because you can't really see what's going on with it, but you get the idea. What you want to do is put glue just at the top and just at the bottom, and then decide where you want to put it and line it up just like this at the bottom, give it a moment to dry, and then line it up at the top. And we want it to be nice and curved. That's why we only put glue on the top and on the bottom. So you can go ahead and do that all the way around the lid with all your panels, and then we can put our stem in place. So for our stem, which is just all one piece, what we want to do is put glue on this side tab here. And the top is a little bit bigger than the bottom, so we can tell that that is the top, in case you were wondering. And then all we need to do is put glue on all of these little tabs here, going all the way out to the corners, hopefully, and fold that over and into place. Make any little adjustments and give it a chance to dry. And then do the same exact thing on the top and fold that into place with glue. Then you've got your little stem, and you can just glue it right in the middle of your lid. So there you have it, super fun Halloween projects. Yay, I'm excited. I hope you are too. And if you make any of these, you'll definitely have to share pictures on our Facebook wall or on your blog or in our forum or Instagram or pin them on Pinterest or anything. We always get really excited to see, and so do the rest of our fans. Everyone loves to see your projects. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting.
Learn more by visiting www.svgcuts.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and watch all of our crafty videos on YouTube. It's a world of crafty content, with you in the middle. SVGcuts.com, inspiring you to live creatively and beautifully.